Let's talk about ABeCeDarian. This is one that I had never heard of before. I was praying when I went to a homeschool conference that I would find something to teach my kids how to read without it being a big language arts curriculum with all the add-ons, because we do those things separately anyway. So I really just wanted to focus on reading right where they're at. And ABeCeDarian means, right in the cover it tells us, one who teaches or studies the alphabet, one who is just learning, a beginner. I love that. I love what the title says about it. I got to meet the author, Michael Bend, and just looking at the title and realizing the meaning behind it showed me that he cares about words, he cares about reading, and I was like, there's somebody whose mindset I want to have when I'm teaching my kids how to read. It goes over all the different sounds that you'll use. It goes over spelling. There are these reading chains that kids will do and spelling chains that they'll do. Similar activities throughout the book, which is really good. My son the other day said, this is easy because I know what I'm doing. And that's what we want. I was listening to something recently that was talking about how if in a curriculum, you're constantly learning new games or learning new activities to do, then a lot of your kids' brain space is used up on learning the new activity and not on the concept that the activity is necessarily teaching. So I really like how this has some structured activities that you're repeating, but for the different sounds. And it's worked really good for us. All right, let's take a look inside ABeCEDarian Level A. There are two sets of Level A. One is the regular Level A and the other is the short version. They have the same scope and sequence, just that the short one moves faster through the material. In the beginning of the book, there are a lot of resources for you as the teacher, understanding what you're doing, understanding the thinking behind what you're doing and why, and the way that kids learn. So that's something you want to take some time and read through that. And also understanding the different types of activities that you'll be doing. Talks about, the importance of the different skills that they'll be practicing and why they're practicing these different skills. Here it goes over the activities that you'll be doing. This shows you what different letter sounds you'll be going over in Level A. And again, in Level A short, it's the same sounds, just moving a little bit quicker. And then here it explains the different types of things you'll be doing. Word puzzles, handwriting practice, isolated letter sound practice, tap and say error game. That's where you mess up, possibly. And if you do, they get to correct you, which is fun for any child. Say and write, spelling and reading chains, a sound game, reading parts of words, and spelling. Word reading practice, reading base words and then adding S, sentence jumble, reading sentences, and the storybooks. And here it talks about the key features that are in here. Again, that's the thinking behind it and why this matters, why it's important. Okay, getting ready to teach. It teaches you as the teacher how to make the different sounds that you'll need to use. And phonetics are really important for kids as they're decoding words. There are lots of adults that don't know how to decode words. It makes it harder as you go along and you're learning larger words. So here it explains, even like going down where it'd be unvoiced, like P is not P, it's P. Things like that. So it really helps you understand how to really help your kid to be able to sound these things out. Okay, and then here it talks about how to form the letters of the alphabet. So these are sayings that you can use as your kids are learning to write or practicing writing them, or if there's one that they have a trouble remembering. At the beginning of the unit, it tells you the letter sounds that you're going to be learning, as well as the words that they're going to be practicing. And there are two books. There's the teacher's manual and the student workbook. I'm not always a fan of a separate teacher's manual, but when I looked through this, I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. I can do this. It's more helpful than annoying to have the teacher's manual with this one. So it lines right up here in the student book. It shows them what sounds they're going to be learning and then what words they're going to be practicing. So we're going to jump ahead a little bit to Unit 5 because there's some added activities as they go along. On each page at the bottom, it shows you what unit you're in, so it's easy to get to where you're going. With my kids, I always give them a sticker for the new unit, and they find that fun. So here in our teacher's manual, it always gives you what page number you're going to be on. So same thing, that makes it really easy to see what's happening. Here they'll have what you're doing underlined. They'll tell you what page number you're going to go to, and then it's lined up really clearly. So here in the bold would be what you would say out loud. Here is a new word puzzle for us to do. The word we have to make is, and then here it explains what you're going to do. You're going to say the word in a sentence. You're going to have your kid repeat the word, and then you repeat the steps for the other words that you're going to be doing. So for these, you're going to want to get something like bananagrams or Scrabble tiles or fridge magnets or cutout letters, something that your kids can manipulate on the page. It makes it hands-on. So they're learning in different ways. They're learning by hearing and seeing and saying and writing and moving. It's very inclusive for all the different ways of learning. Another type of activity would be practicing writing the letters out. There's where you're going to say the sound. Here are the letter sounds you have been learning. Please write D. You're the one that's going to say one of the sounds, not in order, and then they get to write it down. So you pick whichever sound you want to do, and they're going to write it down off of what you're saying. So they're hearing it and then writing it. For a page like this, I love too that it shows you the page in the book, because then you can see exactly where they're doing. Here they would lay out their letter tiles on this, and you're going to do a spelling chain where you give them the word to say, like here it's run. They would pull down the letters to spell run, and then they're going to just change one sound. So you would have them tap and say the word n, run, and then you would say, now please change one sound in run to make rug. And they'll change out the letters to turn it from run to rug. And they give you that whole list of words. So then when they finish rug, now you change one sound in rug to make rag. And it goes down like that. Reading chain is somewhat similar, where you put out the letters or write the word, and you ask them to read the word, and then you change just one letter, and then they have to read the next word. I think these are really great and super helpful. And the error game, again, where you're going to say it, and you may say it correctly or not, and they get to correct you if you mess it up, which is fun for them. Here they're writing out the word that you dictate to them. Here they're copying, writing the words. I usually do 2 pages a day, but they do have it written out here in lessons, so they would have a few pages that they would have the kid do. But for me, 2 pages is what worked best for my kids. The curriculum also comes with these 10 reader books. They have pictures and simple words to start. In the back, it shows you what letter sounds you're practicing in that book. And on the back, too, you can see what order that they would go in. The reader book set is around $49, and each of the other books, the teacher's manual and the student workbook, are around $25 each. They also have an online program version of this. It's at Sharpen, and they said it's about the same scope and sequence, but they've added other other games, other practices, and instructive videos to go along with it. So if online is your jam, then that would be another great way to utilize this method. Hope you enjoyed an inside look at this Open and Go reading and spelling curriculum. I love that the reading and spelling is parallel and it all fits together, and that you can go at the pace of the student. And a reminder that real life is messy and beautiful and better with books. Enough that I could do it and not hate it.